Alright guys, what's next is our second story. Use this to answer questions 11 through 20. Remember, we're trying to figure out the text structure. How is this piece of writing organized? People have been inventing things for thousands of years. Many of these inventions have become part of our daily lives. Some of them are extremely useful. Others might be considered hilarious. The silly inventions that we laugh at often do not get much attention, but the really useful ones can make an enormous difference in the way we live. Some inventions, such as a telegraph, were very important at a certain time in history. Now, their use is rare. Thinking about all these inventions can make a person feel dizzy, yet it can also make us aware of just how much inventions have changed our world. Can you imagine what your life would be like without electric lights, televisions, computers, or even automobiles? Nowadays, we do not even think about these things that make our lives easier and make us so much independent. There was a time, though, when they did not exist. Before the wheel was invented, people had to carry loads on their backs. They also had to drag heavy things behind them. Can you sympathize with those people? With the wheel, people were able to build carts and wagons. This helped them to move heavy things much more easily. It also helped them move larger loads. Before the seed drill, and that was a thing that they used to plant seeds in fields. Before the seed drills, farmers planted seeds by simply throwing them on the ground. This wasted a lot of seeds. Then the seed drill was invented. This machine was a huge advancement in technology for agriculture. Farmers could make straight rows of holes in the ground. Then they could drop their seeds into these holes. Farmers used fewer seeds and had more control of where they planted crops. This helped them grow more crops, which meant more food for people. I think if you're listening, we got problems and solutions in both of these paragraphs. The first cars had to be started using a hand crank. This crank sometimes was hard to turn and was not convenient in rainy or cold weather. Charles Kentigern was convinced that there had to be a better way. He invented an electric starter. This invention made it possible for people to start a car's engine by pushing a button. While flying a kite during a storm, Ben Franklin, who we learned about this week, discovered something important about the physical property of lightning. He discovered that lightning conducts electricity. This little bit of creative mischief led him to invent the lightning rod. Excuse me. Before his invention, people had problems protecting their houses from lightning damage. The lightning rod protected buildings and ships from lightning strikes. It has saved lots of property from being destroyed. It has saved many lives, too. We welcome inventions that make our lives safer, better, and easier. Even silly inventions have their place. Think about how far all our inventions have brought us. Can you imagine the exciting things that might be next? This is a picture of a lady who's actually turning the front of the engine, a crank, kind of like you would pull the handle on a lawnmower to get it going. That's how you would start a car. All right, remember to put all the answers in your answer key. Number 11. What is the main idea of this article? In other words, what's this whole article about? Many inventions create problems for people. Inventions are usually created to make people laugh. Many inventions change our lives and change the world. Inventions often have the effect of bringing people together. You gotta hang on, class. My computer's gonna die. I gotta charge it up. Thanks. All right, sorry about that. I didn't want to lose this video. Number 12. Read this sentence from the article. Some inventions, such as the telegraph, were very important at a certain time in history. A telegraph could send messages by wire across the country. If the Greek root graph means right, what is the most likely meaning of the Greek word tele? Would it be distance, phone, read, or tell? So think about across the country. All right. Why did the author tell about Ben Franklin flying a kite during a storm? To show that Franklin liked to do silly things? To explain how he invented the lightning rod? To explain the difference of lightning strikes on houses? To show how Franklin solved the problem by inventing a lightning rod? Number 14. Read this sentence from the article. Can you sympathize with those people? The Greek root of sympathize meaning feeling. The Greek root of sympathize means feeling. What does the word sympathize mean? Explain, join, remember, or understand. Number 15. How does the author organize paragraph 3 on 270? Now you can't answer this question without looking back. So you gotta look back to page 270 and you gotta read the third paragraph. It's the first page. 1, 2, 3. Here's the third paragraph. How is it organized? Before the wheel was invented, people had to carry loads on their backs. They also had to drag heavy loads behind them. Can you sympathize with those people? With the wheel, people were able to build carts and wagons. This helped them move heavy things much more easily. Sounds kind of like problem and solutions. Let's see. How does the author organize paragraph 3? By explaining how people carry heavy loads? By explaining how the wheel solved the problem of moving heavy loads? By comparing the invention of the wheel to the building of carts and wagons? Or D, by describing how people can sympathize with others who carry heavy loads? 16. Which word from the article is a homograph of the word defined below? Remember, a homograph. Not cooked much. If you're going to not cook something much, you might call that kind of meat. What kind of meat? Rare meat, mischief, invention, or convenient. Number 17. The author organizes paragraph 1 on page 271 by showing paragraph 1 on 271. The first card had to be started using a hand crank. This crank sometimes was hard to turn and was not convenient in rainy and cold weather. Charles Kenton was convinced that there had to be a better way. He invented the electrical starter. This invention made it possible for people to start a car by pushing a button. The author organizes paragraph 1 on page 271 by showing why people like to push a button to start a car, the steps inventing an electric starter, how the problem of starting a car was solved, how the hand crank was used to start a car. Now all those things were in the paragraph, but remember, the text structure of this article is problem and solution. Number 18. Read this section from the article. Then the seed drill was invented. This machine was a huge advancement in technology for agriculture. The word technology has a Greek root of logi, meaning to study or science of. Which of the following words most likely has the same root? Biology, clog, kilogram, or loganberry? I don't have a clue what that is, so don't pick that one. Number 19. How does the author help the reader understand how inventions help people? By comparing and contrasting inventions? by listing the inventions in order of their importance, by listing the inventions in the sequence in which they were created, or by telling about the problems and explaining how inventions help to solve them. Last but not least, number 20. Read this sentence from the article. While flying a kite during the storm, Ben Franklin discovered something important about the physical properties of lightning. The root of physical means nature. Knowing this suggests physics is the study of things found in the body, in the natural world, home, or the supermarket. That one was pretty easy, guys. All right, thanks for taking the multiple choice portion of this test. In video number 3, I'll be helping you write your 3-point paragraph about one of these two stories and how its text structure helped organize it. Look forward to it.